So if you remember last lesson when we make that umbrella, we were trying to use our calculators to find the roots for the equations, whether there are two real roots, or where there is one repeated root, or where there's no root. In here we talk about real roots, okay? So, and you figured out at the bottom there were three different situations, and you realize actually is the values inside the square root that makes the difference. Okay, so that means that the part that we just talked about, the square root, is actually called the discriminant. And if you remember, the discriminant that's inside the bracket is b squared minus 4ac. Now this value will actually tell us whether there will be two real roots, one repeated root, or no real roots at all. So, and we also remember what a, b, and c is, because it must always be in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. If the quadratic equation is in this form, then we will use the b value from the x term in this case, and then minus the value of 4 times a's value times c's value. So in this case, let's find the discriminant, because we are finding the discriminant. So b squared is equal to b squared minus 4ac. I mean, discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Beg pardon. So I will recommend you to make brackets first, okay? And in those brackets you will insert the respective values. So a is 2, b is 1, and c is 9. So b is 1, a is 2, and the c value is 9. And if you're going to do this, this is 1 minus 4 times 9 is 36. 36 times 2 is 72. 1 minus 72 is negative 71. You can actually put the whole thing into your calculator, and it gives you a negative 71. So if you remember the table and you use that the game you made before this lesson, when the discriminant is less than 0, so this case is less than 0 because it's negative. So when the discriminant is less than 0, then you look at your toy you make. Actually tells you that in that case, because so since the discriminant, okay, since it's less than 0, therefore the equation has no real roots. That's according to what the table says to you. Okay, so in the case when you are finding the discriminant to determine the nature of the roots, all you need to simply do is to find the value of b squared minus 4ac and use those three values into the equation and see the answer on the calculator. Because it's negative, that means it's less than 0. So when the discriminant is less than 0, the equation will have no real roots. Okay, so that's how we will handle the question when they ask for the discriminant and to describe the nature. So the nature of the roots is it has no real roots.